So today on Backstage with Billy, the show that, believe it or not, is 53 years of age. If you look at the date of 2026, I am talking about the Rocky Show. I'm talking about the Rocky Horror Show. Now, this legendary show, Richard O'Brien's masterpiece, is currently making a return to Manchester. When it does, we all love it. We can't get enough of it. But nevertheless, today I'm joined by one of the characters, James Biss, taking on the role of Brad Majors. James, welcome to Backstage with Billy. Tell us about this iconic show.
Oh, well, if you haven't seen it, then you have to get tickets because it's the best thing on stage at the moment. It's the most fun show I've ever
Well,
been involved with in 20 years of acting and shows that I've toured with. I've never had so much fun that I am on this job. Rocky Horror Show, obviously, it's the wild and wonderful creation of Richard O'Brien. Obviously, Richard O'Brien played the original Riff Raff in the movie. It was originally written as just a little project of his. Back in the 70s, we're talking. So this, as you mentioned there, Billy, this show's been running for 53 years now. So when Richard O'Brien wrote it, it literally was, he just wanted to write something different. It was a short run. I think it was like a pub theatre in London. And then obviously it had something special that the audiences just clung on to. And then obviously it got turned into a film and that sort of introduced it to a whole new audience. And here we are 53 years later with generation after generation introducing their youngsters to it. And it is really fantastic. But in terms of synopsis, it's a wild one. It's essentially I play a character called Brad. So I have a girlfriend called Janet who at the start of the show I get engaged to. So we're two squeaky clean American sweethearts. And our car breaks down on a stormy night. So we go seeking help and we see a mysterious castle in the distance. And unbeknownst to us, we stumble across the kind of wild, outrageous world of Dr. Frank-n-Furter, who is a sweet transvestite from transsexual in Transylvania.
I can hear the
Um,
tune in my head now as you're saying it.
Oh yeah, it's just a sweet transvestite. Yes, exactly. So you all know that song, and obviously famous songs like the Time Warp. I'm sure you've all danced the Time Warp at many a wedding. Obviously, that is all from this show. Um, yeah, and obviously, Dr. Frank-n-Furter has a sort of wild entourage of characters around him. But the show itself, it's kind of a really nostalgic camp tribute to kind of mid 20th century sci-fi movies, B horror movies. And it's got an epic soundtrack of rock and roll songs, a real glam rock energy to it. Yeah, it's a real mix of science fiction, comedy, glam rock energy. And as I say, it's just the weird and wonderful mind of Richard O'Brien live on stage every night.
Yeah, because Richard O'Brien was a fan of B movies, wasn't he? And this is where
Absolutely.
we came up with the idea. But like you just said there, the thing about the Rocky Horror Show, I mean, obviously, going back about Richard, this is a great pension pot, isn't it? And pension plan that he's had for many years. I mean, obviously, the strap line that obviously I love about this show is obviously don't dream it, just be it, which is a great positive
Absolutely.
message as well. Uh, Now, I've seen the show quite a few times, and every
Okay.
time I see it, I'm gonna tell you right now, without doing any spoilers, the moment I love is when the usherette appears and she starts breaking into double feature science fiction. Love it. I
Brilliant.
kind of go. It's a chill. I'm getting the chills now because that's the part of the show that you know you're arriving on this
Definitely.
amazing show. Now, when we talked about the original stage show, what was it 1973? Then the film in 1975, with the films repeated so many times. But when you see the stage show, there's one thing they don't tell you, and that's that poor narrator who comes out and starts telling you the story, and there he is with the book, or she, depends on who it is. And then obviously the heckling starts. Now, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but you take some abuse, don't you?
We definitely do, but the thing is with the shout outs is that's what you're referring to. It's kind of an unofficial script that the
Yeah.
fans have developed over the years. So, I mean, if you go online, there's a website with it all on there. But so it's not Richard O'Brien never wrote the shout outs. They aren't officially part of the show, but it's something that we've come to love and the audiences love. And when they're timed perfectly, they
Yes.
really do add some real hilarious humor to the show. But us on stage, obviously, it's a challenging environment because So you mentioned the narrator. So in Manchester, we've got the fantastic Nathan Caton. He's a brilliant stand-up comedian. He's great with dealing with the shout outs and kind of putting people in their place if they're if they're going too far. Um, but yeah, so us as actors on stage, we're really having to obviously we're having to think about where we're standing, what we're doing. We have to think about the choreography, the singing, but also we have to have this extra ear on the audience because it's kind of a thing you learn. It's kind of a contract with the audience. You kind of learn from the beginning whether or not you're going to have a sort of shouty out audience. There's the first shout out, like when we're sitting in the car at the top of the show. If you get that shout out loud and proud from somebody in the front row, you're like, okay, we're going to have the shout outs this show. And you kind of learn. I mean, the first 3 weeks of this job for me were terrifying. I mean, I barely knew what I was doing myself as an actor. I just learned the role after 2 weeks of rehearsals, and suddenly I'm faced with people shouting things out between every word I say. But you soon get used to it, and you kind of learn where those gaps potentially are, and you learn to leave enough room to allow the shout out to happen. But if it doesn't happen, then you move on. Do you know what I mean? So if you miss your chance, so for people that know the show and are coming and doing the shout outs, if you do them, I always say do them loud and proud.
Yes.
Don't shout out. So if somebody else has already started the shout out, don't you start as well, because then it just sounds like a mess. And some people that don't know the show, they can feel like they're at a party they've not been invited to, if you know what I mean. So as I say, when they're done properly, they're brilliant and we love them. But don't just shout any old garbage, because
Yeah.
that's not the spirit of the show.
It's like a script. Yeah, I know.
It is a script. If you don't know it, just sit back and listen and love it. It's yeah, just enjoy what's going on around you, but don't be offended. Some people really don't have a clue what's going on, and they're not
Yeah.
expecting them.
Well, I was just going
Yeah,
to lead on to that because what I do is every time because I've seen the show quite a few times and I love it every time. But I always take somebody who's never seen the show before,
brilliant,
and they
brilliant.
are like, "What's happening? What's happening?" Like that's something I go, "It's part of the show." And then obviously we do the dance number. We do the dance number.
You do.
Yeah, I know you do, but we also do it as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So obviously, it's an audience show that loves the show, and it's the audience's. Okay, like you said though, some great songs, obviously from like you just said, Hopper Tootie, I Want to Build You a Man, Sweet Transvestite, The Time Warp. But let's just go back about you a little bit. Let's get a little bit about you because you're a bit of a dashing looking fella, aren't you? You could definitely
Oh,
see
thank you
you.
very much, Billy.
I mean, what I'm on about is like, you can see you in like the Phantom of the Opera, which you've done.
Have indeed,
Spamalot,
yeah.
School of Rock. I mean, the list is endless down here. Joseph's, Cinderella, obviously you teamed up with Doria Dubé, and obviously the TV's Waking the Dead. Well, when I first looked at that, I thought you weren't in The Walking Dead, but then I read something.
Yeah, no.
No,
The
definitely
Waking the Dead, I
Waking
was
Dead.
a policeman in the background, should we say? It wasn't that big a gig,
Oh,
but
I
as
did
an
that for
actor, you put
years.
every job you possibly can on your CV to
Yeah, I
because
mean,
you're proud of everything.
I did TV extra work for years, and I loved it. So I popped up
Yeah,
for
yeah.
everything from Peaky to Shameless.
Oh, brilliant.
We won't talk about Shameless, the things that is doing on there, but that was just the fun of
Oh, I
it.
can
But
imagine.
nevertheless, the Palace Theatre is the place to be. Obviously, the 27th to the 1st of August, the Rocky Horror Show. I'm struggling with this today. The Rocky
That's all
Horror
right.
Show is making an amazing return. It's going to be
Mm.
fun. Obviously, because you're not here for long. 'Cause obviously, I know you're touring up and down at the
No,
moment.
well, it's weekly touring, but this is our last venue of this tour. So this is your last chance to see this cast on this version of the tour. Obviously, there's not. I'm sure. Hopefully, it has a life in the future, but at the moment, this
Oh,
is
it
the
will.
end of this current tour. So as of 2.5 weeks' time, I'm unemployed. So if there's any jobs out there, then let me know.
Call me, I'll pass it on. But it's Stephen Webb, isn't it? Who's going to be
Yeah,
Frank-n-Furter.
you got the amazing Stephen Webb.
Stephen.
Yeah, you haven't seen Stephen. His take on the role of Frank is incredible. His vocals are unreal, and every night he just delivers the most incredible performance. So you won't be disappointed. Yeah, he really brings it to the role. As does the rest of the cast. This cast is every single person, honestly, amazing.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Grab your tickets, atgtickets.com. The Palace Theatre is the place to be. July 27th to the 1st of August. James Bist, thank you for joining me today when you take on the role of Brad Majors. The Rocky Horror makes a return to Manchester, and obviously grab your chance while you can. And thanks for joining me today on Backstage with Billy.
Oh, thank you for having me. See you there.
See you then.